Hey, my name is Jonathan Henderson. I'm with Pressure Washing Marketing Pros, and today I have the honor of being with Stanley right now out of Pressure Perfect Cleaning in Sarasota. Before I go into much about Stan, because he's an awesome guy, I'm gonna let him, talk about him, his company, how it was founded, the services he provides.
Hi, I'm Stan, Pressure Perfect of Sarasota. I've had Pressure Perfect since 2016. I've been in the industry since 1999, so I've got quite a bit of years in different types of cleaning, mostly residential and commercial pressure washing. At one time, I bought out my biggest competitor in my mid 20s, and then I took some time off, got married. I got back into the industry in 2016, so I've seen a lot of different things, and it's been a great journey. It's about the journey too. You're going to get overwhelmed sometimes with things, but remember, life in general is about the journey. It's not just the destination. You've got to learn about the journey, and yes.
Definitely, man, definitely. So what was your business like before working with us, and what were you doing to get more jobs, right? Like
Okay.
what were you doing to get more jobs, and how did you grow your business? Because even working with you, man, when we started working, I know that you already had kind of a good referral network. I know you had a
Hmm.
good foundation, like a lot of contracts. So tell me about that,
Yeah.
like before you started working with us.
Yeah. So before I met Jonathan, I actually had a low budget for ads. Not really, and when I say ads, I mean like I put some actual ads out in some newspapers, and I had somebody doing my SEO at the time, and it was low budget stuff, and but I always saw that like I was never getting to that point on Google where people would find me. I always had to depend on referrals, and the one thing I learned before meeting John is that you cannot depend on one source because it dries up. So I depended on word of mouth, for I don't know how long, and it was working. But then there are times where there's only so many people that need your services. You've got to actually branch out and find more creative ways. It's all about creativity. So since I met John, he came up with a creative way. We rebuilt the website. I mean, I finally made it on page one, and it's been a huge turning point for me.
Hey, man, that's good. That's good. So, what was your experience with with your previous digital marketing companies?
Hmm. Well, the experience I had was I felt like they didn't put a lot of effort into the SEO. In fact, when I would follow up with them and say, "Hey, the backlinks to like pages, like when people would go online and they were searching for pressure washing, they would find certain things, but they would never be. They would go to my page and they would just be bounced back off again. And what I was finding was that the content they were using was so basic, and they didn't invest enough time in my industry. Therefore, I was getting basically nothing out of it. But when I met John, he's focusing on pressure cleaning companies, so like he knew exactly what content to put in the back, and like it was almost like immediate, not immediate, but like it was a lot shorter time with the investment I made with Better Bistro Media than it was with the last company I had. It was almost like it was a big turnaround, and
Hmm.
I definitely saw some like how they say swings in life. Like this was a big swing.
No, man, I appreciate that. And for anybody that knows what Better Bistro Media is, that's like my top company. So yes, I know that's that's basically like my main company with like Pressure Washing Marketing Pros. But I know Stan, like I said, he's definitely right about that. What do you value the most in like a digital marketing company? Like what do you value the most? And you can share this for other guys so that they can
Sure.
do certain things.
Okay. So there's different. Like I was saying, you can't focus on one source to get work because it'll dry up if you use one source, right? So word of mouth is great because that's basically your reputation that's causing you to get work. The way I view digital marketing is it's branding. It's all about branding. If you see Pressure Perfect today, tomorrow, the next day, you don't think anything about it, but you're still actually seeing it. Just perfect example. You go to the movie theaters when we were allowed to go to the movie theaters when we were locked down. They would always show you Coke in the beginning, with all the roller coaster you would ride before the actual clip would come on, and then and they'll actually put certain things in the movie to make you think about Coke. Next thing you know, you find yourself thirsty. I want a Coke. It's all about brand awareness. And
Mhm.
the one good thing about digital marketing is that it's on there. People are on Facebook. They're just Googling, or they could even be in Walmart or Home Depot, and like, oh, I need to get my place clean. Well, most of the time, a smartphone will hear that, And so next thing you know, an ad will pop up and it's like, it's right there. And if you are constantly in front of them, you basically create that image for them, that need. And so I view it as the best form of branding.
No, definitely, man, definitely. So, because I agree with you, I tell a lot of people all the time that they always wonder what's the best SEO. Well, the best SEO is to have a good business, right? And so when you're using, just like you had said, when you're using multiple facets of marketing, whether you be on Google, whether you're using yard signs, door hangers, you have word of mouth, right? People are gonna keep looking you up on Google. Like I tell people, if Amazon's site went down right now, and
Mhm.
it got back up a month later from now, do you think they would need to do any SEO? They probably wouldn't need to, because people are it's in demand. So I tell people, think of your business like that. Think of it as something that people see in demand, that people are like Googling, regardless if they can find your website or not, because that's when Google kind of prioritizes you.
Mhm.
You can do all the backlinks, you can do all that stuff, but you need to do, but in terms of SEO and digital marketing. But I've always been a proponent of all forms of marketing. I mean, of course, people say radio's dead, commercials are dead. But hey, if you have the money and you have the budget and you don't budge at all, and you're like, I can just throw this money away,
Mhm.
I would say you could have a TV commercial, still a radio ad, because it's still
Yeah.
going to bring you something. So it's still a brand. So you're right. So in
Mhm.
terms of like a digital marketing company as well,
Mhm.
um, how what is business like now that you've been working with us, and what are some of the results? So I know that we built you a new
Sure.
website, we've been doing SEO, we're doing
Okay.
Google. So what is business like now, and what are some of the results
Okay.
that we've gotten for you?
So the biggest thing I've found, and this is where the brand awareness comes in with the digital marketing that I gotten from Jonathan. So I'm gonna give you just an example. I bid on a huge project about 2 months ago, and it was 19 buildings. And another guy came in. He was super low. I thought I'd lost it. They called me back 3 months later because my web presence was up there. They got scared because it was like, it's a really, really low bid. So they then looked at my site. They noticed I was on the first page. They're like, this guy's legit. It puts you in a different category with your competition.
Mhm.
And it's almost like I get value now because I'm on the first page. I've got the reviews, and it's like, if I didn't have that digital presence, I about guarantee they wouldn't have called me back.
Mhm. No, that's definitely understandable, man. And I know, even for the Google ads, like those definitely have been a
Mhm.
lifesaver for those slower seasons, as we know in Florida in the summertime. So
Mhm.
I know for you, man, we get those new customers, and new customers equals definitely more referrals.
That's right.
Mhm.
Right.
Definitely look for more referrals. So what advice would you give? What
Sure.
advice would you? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What advice would you give, like, pressure washing businesses, new or old, when it comes to what they should look for in a digital marketing company, right? So that they don't,
Yeah.
make the same mistakes that you made and a lot of
Yeah.
other people make. You're not the only one, that a lot of other people make when they're trying to vet and they're trying to find
Mhm.
somebody that can do their marketing. What's the biggest advice you would give them?
Okay. First of all, the biggest advice I give is if you're starting your pressure washing business from scratch, I'd say actually any business, you want to get a good digital marketing company because that's your foundation. They're going to build a site from scratch. They're going to SEO it from scratch. The mistake I made, I came back into the industry already, even though I had like 10 years before I came back in 2016, I didn't spend the money. I didn't put enough effort into the website. And because of that, I ended up spending probably over the last 4 years, 2 times what it would have cost me if I just set it up originally with Jonathan. Initially, had this SEO set, because the other thing about digital marketing is you're not just paying for those customers today. You're paying to get those customers a couple years down the road because you're creating awareness, you're creating a brand. But
Hmm.
if you do it late, now you got to spend all that much more money catching up. So it is very important for the foundation of your company to start with the digital marketing, start with the right company that does the right stuff, the right images on the site, the right content, and a guy that actually calls you up and keeps you accountable too, because you want to be accountable with the person you're working with. There are times I get when I was running the Google ads, I'd miss some calls. John will call me up and say, "Hey man, you miss it," because I'm spending the money, and
Yeah.
he wants to get the best value for the money I'm spending. So because of that, he calls me up. Hey man, this is a waste of money unless you get that job. So like a coach, I,
Yeah.
I have to tell you, man, that's been very, very helpful.
No, man, and I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that because, like I said, I don't know everything, but as you know, working with several, pressure washing businesses, you kind of see certain trends, right? And
Hmm.
so a lot of buyer behavior when it comes to Google Ads, when it comes to SEO, as you've seen, right, with your SEO, and what we've done is giving you more credibility, is giving you more trust. But those customers that find you in that route, you can charge a more premium price because
Hmm.
they've invested into your brand, right? They probably
Right.
did their research. On Google Ads, those people have more of a buying kind of incentive. They're like,
Hmm.
as you know, like a buying behavior. There's even stats on that to where it says like 60% of people that, click on Google Ads are looking to purchase, right? And
Hmm.
so, as remember when I told you, I know that you were so used to getting those you
Yep.
know, referral leads coming in to where you could say, if today, like today when we're shooting this video, it's Thursday right now, you could go ahead and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and give you an estimate on Monday, and they'll be like, okay, that's fine, right? But you have somebody on Google Ads that doesn't know your business from anything,
Right.
they're gonna just kind of be like, oh, I'll call you back, and then you never hear from them again because
Yep.
those people are like, they want that service done at that consistent rate. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'm definitely glad, man, for how your business has turned out. It was, as I got to meet Stan in person too at a
Hmm.
convention that we both attended, and so it was definitely great. So like I said, I look forward to seeing the rest of your growth, man, from years
Yep.
beyond with
Yep.
this.
Yeah. And the digital marketing really can be the defining thing that takes your business from here to the next level,
Hmm.
because you'll find, the more you do this industry, you're going to figure out how to do the job with different tricks. There's only so many different methods you can use to be more efficient. But the one thing that remains all the time is that constant cash flow of new customers and residual customers, and you just got to keep that engine running. We're in a great country. We're in a first world country where we have the largest consuming spending rate of any first world country in the world. I was living in Australia, and I can tell you from experience, there's no place you can run a service business in the world other than this country. And with the digital marketing, you can make it happen, and you can actually make it happen quick if you have the right guy.
No, definitely, man. I definitely. Well, you gave us a bunch of good nuggets, man. You've been in the industry, like I said, for
Mm-hmm.
almost 20 years and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So that's definitely those are definitely some awesome nuggets, and I really appreciate you, man, for getting on the video, all of that. So once again, like I said, this is Stan with Pressure Perfect out of Sarasota, and this is Jonathan Henderson with Pressure Washing Marketing Pros. Thank you guys for watching the video.